Okay.
Hey, hello. Also, we can start with the interview. So first question, can you please explain Agile in a very simple way?
Okay. Agile is a methodology. It is an incremental and iterative methodology. Uh, in Agile, the requirements are delivered in short format, and Agile is a lightweight framework.
Mhm. Okay, so if you want to explain Agile to a normal person, okay, who is not aware, okay, what is Agile itself, who is not aware, like what is an software industry, how it is working, then how will you explain Agile?
Okay. To explain about Agile, it is a methodology where iterative and incremental approach is done. And normally we have a waterfall methodology, which is a top to bottom approach. But in Agile, it is a uh, 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 lean thinking way. Here, the requirements are we provide the 1 second. Okay. The requirements are uh, according to the business stakeholders. The requirements will be shortlisted, and we publish the product within the required timing.
Okay, okay, fine. So as a Scrum Master, you would have conducted many Scrum events, right? So out of which, can you just explain how will you conduct a product backlog refinement meeting? Like step by
Okay.
step.
Product backlog contains the ordered list of requirements, which is required to be completed in the sprint. It should have the clear requirement described in the product backlog, and product owner should facilitate the product backlog items.
Okay, what you
Yeah.
will be doing exactly as a Scrum Master?
Okay, as a Scrum Master, Scrum Master will perform this sprint planning, sprint review,
No, 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 no,
and
no, no, no. Sorry to interrupt. So I'm asking, like in product backlog refinement, what is your role as a Scrum Master?
okay, as a Scrum Master in product backlog role. Okay, so we will go through the requirement. If the requirement is clear, then we will estimate with the team, and we have to estimate with the developers. And we have to verify the product backlog requirement is given as expected. Whatever the description is clear, the acceptance criteria is met with the product backlog item descriptions.
Okay, okay. So see, in estimation, why are we using story points instead of hours? We can go with hours, right? Why are we using a story point here for estimation?
Okay, story point is a relative estimation. If we go by story points, that is one story point can be 8 hours. So that the person, the team will work within a time boxing limited time, and if we take it into hours, then the work will be dragged out, and if it is a, story point, then we can complete within the time sprint.
Okay. So, what are the challenges? Can you list some of the challenges you faced as a Scrum Master?
Challenges, okay, so maybe in some of the user story, we would have uh, estimated the story point to two story point or three story point. So or the tester would come back and say, like, after the analysis, the effort to put to complete the story point will vary. It may increase to three or four story points. So in that way, first I would analyze what is the requirement for that particular story, and we have and I would create a meeting with the developer and the team, what is expected, what after analysis what is found, and then we have to update this to product owner, and discuss with them, and then we have to provide the estimated story points which will be required more.
Okay.
And if any,
Yeah, please go ahead.
yeah, and if any person in the team is not attending the Scrum call or meeting up, then I would have a meeting with them, and I would explain them what is the use of Scrum and Scrum events, and then we'll definitely make them to attend the meetings every day.
Okay. Okay. So, I believe you might be aware of engineering practices. So, what engineering practices you have implemented or you are following in your current project?
Um, pair programming.
Okay.
Pair programming means like two developers will be there, and if one of the developer is he's developing the requirement, and once it is done, the peer review would be done by the other developer.
Okay. So, any other engineering practices apart from pair programming?
Mm, I think refactoring is there.
Okay. You used to do refactoring also. Okay. Good. Okay.
Uh,
Okay, fine. So, just consider your team members or board of working on the same type of requirement or project for several sprints. Okay, so how will you encourage them as a Scrum Master?
Several tasks.
No, no, I'm asking. See,
Can you come again?
you are doing you are working as a Scrum Master, and your team is feeling like they are working on the same type of requirement or same type of user stories. So, as a Scrum Master, how will you encourage them?
Okay. So maybe one thing is like user stories are divided from the epic. So this epic level will have multiple features, and then that will be divided into multiple user stories. So if you take one of the epic, then the same kind of functionalities will be coming in other stories. So if the team is not willing to work, or if they feel bored, uh, then what is like if the business has provided the requirement, then we need to definitely do that work in that particular sprint. Maybe what I can motivate them is like we can try to find some innovative things which can be done Apart from that, which will like the team can work on the innovative work area, like any automation things, or and then working on the given requirement as well.
Good. So, can you just list me some any one story splitting technique you are using in your current project? Story splitting technique.
No, I
Okay,
don't
okay,
have the
no
answers.
issues, no issues. Okay, and can you tell what is a spike and what are the types of spike?
No idea on this.
Okay, so I'm giving you a scenario here. See, um, you're a Scrum Master and your team is getting spillover. That means around 50% of the stories are getting spillover to the next sprint. Okay, and you're observing this for past one sprint you're observing. So what will be your plan of action at this point? How will you handle the situation?
Okay, the story is moving to next sprint, right?
Correct, correct. The developers are not able to complete the story within the sprint, and it is getting spillover to the next sprint.
Okay. So first of all, in the sprint planning, we should understand what is the requirement given for that story. We have to provide some time for the developers to understand the requirement, and then we have to analyze it and then come back with the story points. Maybe we can have the alignment call with if there is any dependencies for that particular user story with other teams. We can have the we can have the calls with other teams as well to understand what are the impediments and where we have left the estimation. Otherwise, if any requirement is not clear, then we can take it forward to the product owner and request them to provide the expected requirement. And after analyzing, if we found something like before, like without this step, we cannot proceed with the requirement. And if it is missed from the requirement, then we can update that to the product owner, and we can re-refine the story points story again. And if in case the user story is very big, for example, while estimating, we think like we can complete this within a sprint, and while performing the development, we find that this lacks to the next sprint as well, then we have to provide the appropriate reason why it is moving to the next sprint. And as a Scrum Master, if we find this kind of activity again and again, then either we should split the requirement which can be completed within the sprint if the requirement is more in depth while analyzing it, or else maybe we will have 2 or 3 developers, so they can prioritize the work and complete the user story
Okay,
in the
good.
given particular
Okay,
sprint.
good. So, as a Scrum Master, how will you track the daily progress of the team?
Using burn up chart and burn down charts.
Okay, how you will
And
track?
in daily Scrum, in daily Scrum meeting, we will connect with the teams and we'll come to know what is the progress of the story, and we'll come to know like each team members like uh, how their work is going on today, and what will be the next step tomorrow. If any impediments are there, then we will discuss it, and I will try to resolve that impediments.
Okay. So, can you tell me an example for an impediment you resolved in your current project? Any one impediment?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what happened is like we got a requirement from the BA to update one of the products, and we found that is if the requirement, then it will
Your voice is breaking actually.
once the team.
Yeah, can you please repeat the answer from the start? I was able to hear properly up to the BA part, whatever you mentioned first.
Okay.
Yeah, now can you?
Hello.
Yeah. Now it's better.
Is it clear
Yes,
now?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can
So,
start. You can start the answer from the beginning. Yes. Mm.
okay. So recently in my project, we had one issue like from the BA, we have got one requirement like changing the product configuration. So I'm audible, right?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Uh, 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 and when the team started to work on that, and when at the last we found that the configuration, if we do, it will affect the other product as well. Then what I did is I set up the call with the and help them understand what is which is, and then
I see. I'm not able to hear you. I think there is some network
try
issue.
to provide some solution from that.
Yeah. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Huh. So once we got the solution from the stakeholders, we try to implement that for the issue which is reported.
Okay. Fine. So, can you tell me the difference between a DOD and an acceptance criteria?
Okay. So DOD means definition of done. So definition of done is like where the particular requirement is completed with the quality process, and definition of done will be done once the development is done, code review is done, and unit test is completed, peer review is also done. And once it is done, we will provide the test result to the stakeholders. And acceptance criteria is like when the requirement is uh, acceptance criteria will be facilitated by product owner, and um, once the user story is provided, we need to find out the requirement. Like we have to go through the requirement, and we have to check whether it will be complete. It can be complete within the sprint. Whether the developer can work on that within the required timeline, and those things will be the acceptance criteria.
Okay. Okay. So, can you tell me what is the difference between lead time and the cycle time? Lead time and the cycle time.
Lead time is the time defined when the particular task is completed and it's gone through the production. But cycle time is can be calculated from the start and end of the time when the process when the process or the requirement is completed.
Okay. So, what is the relation between a capacity and a velocity?
Um, Velocity is the number of or the number of process completed or the story points completed within the sprint. And capacity is like it will define from the number of story points refined and how many story points completed within that sprint.
Okay, you're talking about capacity. Okay, I don't think so. Capacity, whatever you're telling is correct. Can you just think again? Like, what is the capacity? Okay, fine. No worries. Okay, I'm giving you a scenario. See, consider you are working in a 2 week sprint. Okay, and you are able to see around 90% of the stories are getting closed on the last day of the sprint. Okay, and is that correct way? And how will you handle the situation as a Scrum Master?
Okay, 90% of the story is
Stories.
completed on, right?
Yes, correct. 90% of stories are
Okay.
closed on the last day of the sprint.
Okay. First, at the last till last day, we should not be checking the completion of the sprint. At the mid itself, like in the daily Scrum meeting itself, we should find out the progress. Where the status is missing, or where the uh, teamwork progress is not up to date. So if it is the 90%, then we need to check with the team member, like what is the issue and where is the lag to complete the progress, which should be completed before the last day of the sprint. And to mitigate that, we need to like what are the impediments we have to as a Scrum Master, I need to get in touch with the developers and the testing teams, like what are the impediments they faced to complete these much uh, time. If the work is getting delayed, then uh, what is the if any work is delayed because of any other team dependency is there, then we have to find out what is the dependency between other teams, and then we have to get in resolve that.
Okay. Okay, fine. So, what are the artifacts you know in Scrum? Artifacts in Scrum.
Product backlogs, sprint backlog, and product increment.
Good. So, as a Scrum Master, how in what areas you are assisting your product owner?
Maybe in assisting product owner.
Yes, correct.
Getting the requirement for the product goal from the product owner, and if they find if the user story is not as if they we have to check the user story, and if it is not as advisable, or the requirement is not clear, then we'll ask the product owner to look into that.
Okay. So, see, I'm giving you a scenario. So, is it possible that you come across different story points for development and testing efforts separately? Whether that is correct, I want to understand whether that is the correct approach.
Is
Whether
it
we can.
possible?
No, I'm asking you whether like that is the right way to estimate testing efforts and development efforts separately.
Yes, we can estimate it separately. Development effort, maybe sometimes it will be 2 story points or 3 story points, but testing efforts will be some more than that 4 story points or 5 story points, because any regression would be there, or existing scenarios should be tested with the provided changes in the functionality.
Okay, so your team will provide development separate story point and the testing separate story point. Your team will provide.
Yes, we will provide like that. Yeah, the development in the sprint planning. Once the developer uh, explains about the changes what he has done, so he will provide his story point separately, and testing team will provide the story point separately.
Okay,
Because we will
fine.
have the testing plus automation testing and regression checks.
Okay, okay, fine. So, how will you plan and track a release in Jira?
How will you plan it? Release in Jira.
Yeah, plan and track a release in Jira.
Through burn down charts and burn up charts,
Okay, is it
and a sprint report. Sprint report.
okay? Okay. So, can you tell like what is the use of a JQL with an example?
JQL. Okay. So when we try to search something in Jira, like when we want to check like this particular assignee is having how many Jira tasks assigned to the person, or how many user stories are completed, in progress, or done, then we can use the JQL query.
Okay. So, are you using Confluence in your project? Confluence, if so, like what is how you are using Confluence in your project?
Yes, we are using Confluence in our project. In Confluence, we keep all the documents there, and the mm, kind of testing artifacts, if we have, we keep it there, and development artifacts we keep it there, so other persons can view that what about the projects, and what are all the testings are going on.
Okay. Okay. So, do you have? Okay, I'm good. So, do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay. Thank you.